What's up guys, my name is Chance and today we've got a bit different of a video. So I'm going to be trying to predict trends that I think we'll see in parkour in the next year or so. And if I'm right, then I'll feel good, and if I'm wrong, then maybe you get some ideas for new styles or things to try out at least. So for the first one, I'm thinking we're going to see high-level moves in smaller and smaller places, or lower and lower to the ground. So for example, obviously Mostafa has been killing it with this recently. He just did this castaway on these big steps where he had maybe this much to land and also this high to take off of, and he's just having to land in like a really low squat. It's super awkward. Or like, I can't think of his name right now, but there's this kid that's doing Kong double gainer on flat on spring floor. And he can do like Kong gainers up walls, and then he rolls out.
Getting it, really. Yo!
So maybe moves where you're having to flip really close to a wall or the ground, and maybe moves where you're forced to roll out of them and land really low. Maybe another example of this could be a double flyaway off of a really low like chest height bar or something. So either confined spaces or flipping really low to the ground and being forced to roll out. Someone pulled into the parking space that I had my camera filming from, so we're gonna have to move spots for the next one.
Yo! Dude, that's crazy. Yeah, I was just trying to talk to the camera and now I see Keith pulling up.
Bro, what's up?
Cooking up something over here?
Yeah, I'm making a video right now.
Word.
Yeah.
What are the chances in that, right?
For number 2, I'm thinking moves where you set one flip and then use the ledge or rail or wall, whatever it may be, to direct your momentum into another axis. One that I've been doing a lot is going to be the set a stall, grab the wall, and then rod or D-leg over. Basically, if you need an illustration of this style, just look to Pasha or Egg. Either way, they're always doing wild new ones, and I've seen a lot of people trying that specific one. So I think that we're gonna see some more ways to redirect your momentum using the objects around you. I think there's a lot of possibilities with this trick, like doing a full twist into it and then grabbing and untwisting another way. Yo, what's up? How's it going?
It's good. So at the last spot I just saw another person that I know that I work with, so I guess this is the place to be on a Wednesday morning. So for number 3, I'm thinking in a similar vein to the last one. I think we might see some people spicing up their slides down roofs. A few years back, we saw a bunch of gainer and cork roof slides, and they're just kind of sliding down and going straight down. But I think there's a lot of possibilities with that. You know, maybe you could hang and do like a double flyaway, but you're sliding down the wall, or like a, you know, double palm flip, something like that. Or sliding around like Pasha did in the pinball video. There's obviously only so many spots that are like decent to slide down like that, and most of them are gonna be like pretty high stakes roof spots, stuff like that, where you really don't want to mess up. So understandable that we haven't seen too much variation on this, but I think some daring souls might just have the control and bodily awareness to pull this off. Alright, so for number 4, pretty obvious one, but I'm thinking big tricks across big gaps. I've been seeing a lot of double cork gaps. At Kings of the Concrete, you had triple cork gap, double gainer gap. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, over the last few years, I feel like I've seen a few double side flip gaps. So, you know, don't be surprised if we see cork in roof gap, or like triple A-twist roof gap. I'm seeing some ridiculous flips over some crazy gaps. Okay, so for trend number 5, here's some backstory. A few years back, Nico and Archie were getting a lot of attention for how good they were at tricking, and then combining that with free running lines and, you know, kind of termed ledge tricking, right? So free runners getting really good at tricking and then incorporating that into their lines. But now I think off-axis flips are kind of the new trendy thing going on right now. So for trend number 5, I'm thinking we're gonna see some more moves being borrowed from tricking. More stuff like touchdown rise in, or I think you're gonna start seeing more high-level kicks and kick variations being used. I would love to see more people do crazy shurikens and other high-level kicking moves from tricking. I think people are also gonna get so good at the off-axis tricks that we're seeing now that you start seeing people do precisions with them or leveling them up in harder ways. But I think Denali obviously does this all really, really well, and he's kind of pushing that aspect of the sport right now. So watch him if you want to know what's going to be popular in the next few years. Alright, before we get to our very last trend prediction, I got a few quick fire ones for you. I think we'll see more miss-like side flip and lotus variations, so side swing flips. I think with big competitions, incentivizing athletes to do a bunch of small filler flow type movements in their lines, we'll see kind of a retaliation and maybe have more running between spots in lines again. Like it's 2010, bro. Or similarly, I think people might be doing such high-level technical flips that the in-between might not matter as much, you know? Might be some more stumbles or a few extra steps between things, but maybe a trend of not having to get everything perfect on their line if it's hard enough. But I think we'll see people not quite care so much about the sketchiness versus cleanliness of lines, perhaps, if not for anything other than the tricks being ridiculously hard. And for the last quick one, I'm thinking people are gonna start straying away from just doing back full related movements for every single line. You know, the classic recovery scoop full and whatnot. I think hopefully people will have a bigger arsenal of tricks and, you know, start spicing up lines more rather than just adding more spins to a back full. But maybe not, we'll see. Well, what's up? Wait, you're not concussed anymore.
I haven't been concussed for like 20 years. Man.
Nothing can stop this, man. Trend predictions for the next year in parkour?
Backflip.
Yeah, that's a good one. For our last and our wildest trend prediction, I had to change locations, change shoes, because my Olos will not work for this trend. If you've seen Capstone, you've seen that you can do splat and slide down the wall. Switching it up, I think people are gonna do diagonal splat slides. So let me show you what that looks like. So this technique is kind of hyper specific. Like it would work better on a slant wall, but I think if you have a dusty enough flat wall, it would still work. You have to have the right shoes. It is kind of scary, and I feel like you are really prone to just eating all of the impact on it. But there's a certain angle where you can hit, and I think that you can just travel and glide along it and reduce the impact while still getting the distance you need. I think someone's gonna get really good at that technique, hit it across some fat roof gap with like a 2-story drop and surprise everyone, and then everyone's gonna be doing that. Alright, so that's all the trend predictions I've got for today. Hopefully I'm right on some of these and I can say I told you so, but if not, at least hopefully you got some good ideas out of this. Yeah, let me know what other videos you'd like to see. I got a lot of ideas, so more videos will be coming soon. That's all for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.